Hello everyone. Here are 5 things to remember when selling a home occupied by a tenant. With all the changes to the Residential Tenancies Act in Ontario, I am receiving many questions for clarifications. Here are 5 things you need to know when selling a home occupied by a tenant. Number 1, what if the tenant has 10 months left remaining on their lease? In this case, the tenant cannot be evicted before the end of the lease unless you make a deal with the tenant to leave earlier. Number 2, what if the tenant is on a month-to-month lease? In this case, the tenant can be evicted, but only if you have found a buyer who intends to occupy the property after closing. Sellers cannot terminate a lease just because they want to sell the property. They first have to find a buyer who signs an agreement stating that they will move in on closing. Number 3, what if the tenant is paying below market rent and the buyer wants to rent it to someone else for more rent? In this case, the buyer has to ask for vacant possession on closing and not agree to move in themselves. In that case, the agreement will have to be conditional upon the seller being able to make a deal with the tenant to leave earlier. Number 4, if the buyer moves in, can they stay for a few months and then rent it to someone else for more money? This is bad faith and could result in a penalty of up to $25,000 due to the fact that the tenant was tricked into leaving. You need a special clause in this case to protect your seller against a buyer doing this after closing. Number 5, how can we avoid problems with the tenant during the listing or on closing? It is complicated. Remember, you have to give 24 hours written notice in advance of any showing. No home staging or open houses unless the tenant agrees. Sometimes you have to go to the landlord and tenant board before closing to make sure you obtain an eviction order that will be effective on closing. My advice in all cases is to try and find the tenant another place to live, pay the cost of moving and perhaps the difference in rent for a year, and just make a deal. No problems with showings, no issues with closings. If you have any questions relating to how to sell a home occupied by a tenant, or whether your clients would benefit from our mobile signing service where we go to our clients from 7 a.m. to midnight, 7 days a week at the time and location of their choice, we would be delighted to assist you. Feel free to contact me directly at 1-888-876-5529 or by email at mark@realestatelawyers.ca.